Deep in Appalachia's holler where the mountain secrets lie, we're a ragtag crew of retro heroes with video dreams held high. From arcade quarters to late night flicks, we're geared for fun and flair. The 8-bit hillbillies are here, mischief riding on the air. G4GS with bourbon in hand, tossing movie quotes on the fly. 6-inch turkeys itching for a scrap, ready to stir up the fight. Jan Argan holds ancient lore, guiding us through pixel night. Zesty Buffalo, the charming outlaw, sets the arcade aglow. With a spark that never dies, obey old laser sword in hand, prepping for doomsday's glow. We splash through digital dungeons and soar past sci-fi heights. In our pixel paradise, we roam from dusk till early light. We're the 8-bit hillbillies, and we're ready for the show.
And we are back. Finally.
Everybody that was listening to that was like, what? And
what's going on here?
Where am I supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be right now? Because it was
first time using that.
It was what?
There's the first time using that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Back with some new hotness. So that took a lot of effort. and arguing.
I was gonna say AI is fun until it's not.
So we had to shorten it too.
Yeah, we had to shorten it. There was a lot of manual effort in there, even after what we had produced, and so it was a good, I would say, perfect pairing of letting AI do its thing, but then we got it across the finish line with our own efforts. So yeah, fancy new intro, new character art, and our first episode back. Start of season 3. We're already down 2 guys.
One of them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna just gonna watch it live."
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I'm looking at you. You know who I'm looking at. Right?
You know who you are.
You know who you are. I'm just watching it live.
Click the wrong button there. Okay. So anyway, it's all good. We're getting warmed back up again. Yeah, been a much longer hiatus than obviously we intended. Just a lot of different things going on. But we have been working in the background, getting everything ready for hopefully a lot of new content. Got the team working on some Dungeons and Dragons, some Hero Quest, probably some card opening videos, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm pointing at. Anyway.
Well, you were pointing at me and the wrong there. But yeah. Okay, now you're pointing at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, on my screen, I'm pointing at Ronnie, so it's all backwards for me. But anyway.
So
yeah. No, actually, that's not me. That's actually you think Joe for that one and Zesty Buffalo. I am just kind of in the back.
Since neither one of them are here, you're the closest next thing.
Yeah, I'm making commentary a little bit on some of the cards. Most of it's Magic. Well, I'll say most of it. All of it is Magic the Gathering.
Anyway,
all of it is Magic the Gathering. So, but yeah, we've actually done 2 box openings thus far, and I'm going to try to get those edited at some point.
And intro slapped on it, and I can upload it.
Put on the YouTubes for the YouTube lands.
Janigan, I don't know if I'm thinking I'm getting some feedback, but it's like movement related. So if there's any movement or anything going on, I would eliminate it.
It's probably.
Yeah. It's creating like a constant bit of
Yeah, he don't know
feedback.
how to stand still. Actually,
Yeah.
you say what you want to say and then head on out.
Again, make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment below. Or I'll be under your bed tonight.
Scary.
Anyway, like, share, comment.
Or somebody will end up on your bed.
I don't know who. I doubt it'll be anybody. He can barely find his own bed.
I was going to say, yeah, he has enough trouble finding his own bed most nights. Just by hearing Jones turn around and go, "Get out of my bed!" What are you doing?
Yeah, he finds mine more than his. Anyway.
I understand that. So, yeah, hey, we've much longer than intended hiatus. I'll own some of the blame on that too. When it was literally this time last year, I decided I was going to go back for my master's, and that ate up all my clock. So, totally self-inflicted. I own that.
It's all him.
It's his fault.
Yeah. But so yeah, nice new intro. Hopefully we're now back. That's why we're now calling this the start of season 3. So season 2 is just going to be short. We are going to continue with the episode numbering under the 8-Bit Hillbillies branding, and we'll have different probably titles and numbering for Magic and Hero Quest and Dungeons and Dragons, all of that. So, anything else that I need to add in about where we've been, where we're going? Oh, I guess could drop in our official, I guess, offshoot franchise, the Coal Creek Ghostbusters.
Yes.
So we do also have formally fired that up. Did a couple Christmas parades. So that is also part of our I guess our portfolio of content and things we're doing. Just being out in the community and spreading some cheer, busting some ghosts.
And that's the crazy part about that whole thing is like, I was kind of surprised because like we're walking in Christmas parades. So as we're marching along in the like what feels like 4 miles worth of a hike through the town of Lake City or Rocky Top, whatever you want to call it, we're wandering through there, and it's a long hike for old fat people. And I'm looking at me. But no, like people freaking loved it. And then we went down in downtown Clinton, did it down there. And people lost their minds. They were like, "It's Ghostbusters!" And it's like Christmas.
I mean, we did wear the Santa hats. I mean, just like Ghostbusters.
We had Santa hats. But I mean, like, people didn't really put like. I don't really put Christmas and Ghostbusters together.
I mean, technically, Ghostbusters 2 is a
Yes.
Christmas movie.
It was around that time of year.
Yeah. But it was yeah. So I mean, but it was actually kind of refreshing. It was kind of cool because you get a lot of strange comments like, "Hey, are you from Fortnite?"
I kind of
think
know.
Looked at their parents and told them they failed.
I kind of know how the guys felt, at the start of Ghostbusters 2. Hey, we wanted He-Man.
And it don't look good.
Let's go grab a beer.
I mean, that's really very close to what it was like. It was very, very, it was a lot of fun. Had a blast, but both years we've done it, I figured out that it can get very cold at Christmas. And
Boy,
this year was no exception. In fact,
we had a rough one this year.
blistering cold.
Need to wear some thermals and carry a thermos full of
I
hot
did.
chocolate or coffee or something stronger.
Oh, it was bad.
I did have thermals in my flight suit. It still wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, I did too. And I'll just tell you right now, I forgot my gloves. I couldn't feel my hands. And I'm talking like 5 minutes in, like hiking. You know, I couldn't feel my hands.
That's about what an hour. It was nearly an hour long to get from one end of town to the other.
Yeah, and that didn't count us waiting. You know, like
Yeah.
just standing there. I mean,
Because you had to be
at
there
least
so
when
far in
you're moving, you're
advance.
generating heat, but like when you're not moving, you're just standing there. But I will have to say this, old Zesty, he did put in his bit for King and Country that night because he was wearing a giant marshmallow suit that basically pulls air from the inside and inflates the suit. So there was no heat to be had in that suit.
It's too bad he's not here tonight to regale us his tale and experiences of being Stay Puft.
Yeah, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
He enjoyed it. It was a good learning experience for him.
He actually did really enjoy it, and honest to goodness, I think that was one of the things that we were going to start trying to work on was trying to get the stuff set up and start actually printing the parts for the Ghostbuster packs. So just people just kind of throw this out there. You can actually go on and download if you have a 3D printer. You can go and download like full plans for the packs basically, and they're broken down into pieces relatively small, not really small, but relatively small. So there's a little bit of gluing and stuff that you'll have to do to kind of massage it into making it look more legit. But GB Fans?
Yeah.
GBfans.com. That was a huge resource just going through because they've got lighting kits and all kinds
Everything you need.
everything you could possibly want or need. Jones is now, you really are turning
Zordon.
into like Zordon. You just like glow blue.
Need teenagers with attitude.
Yeah, you need some teenagers with attitude. Okay. Yeah,
Hey,
so
ain't nobody
yeah.
need teenagers with attitude these days.
But
Maybe back in the 90s, but not these teenagers now.
No.
yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I went ahead and I downloaded the plans, downloaded all the STLs and everything else, and they've got them for. Let me quit yawning. They've got them for the PKE meters, and
I was about to say we got enough stuff. We can outfit a whole crew for a little bit of effort. So if anybody wants to join the Coal Creek Ghostbusters, there's that open invite to join our ranks and come march with us. Nothing crazy, nothing intense. Literally, the plan with it is probably just do the Christmas parades every year.
Yep.
Get out there, have some fun. Although we do continue kicking around the idea of trying to find an old fire truck to turn into our Ecto.
Well, I showed you the one that I thought would have been awesome.
I know.
And it would, I mean, it was pretty ridiculous, but still,
It would have worked. It would have been great.
it would have worked great.
So, Anyway, yeah, so that's where we are, where we've been. We are hoping to get fully back in the swing of things again. Life has kind of settled out a little bit better. So the big thing here past few months, Switch 2,
Oh,
new console season. Or
it's,
I honestly, I still in my mind, I think they should have went with Super Switch.
it does look kind of like a Super Switch. In fact, the first Switch should have been like kind of like Super Mario. You've got the original Switch, and then you've got the Super Mario Switch because it's had its mushroom or whatever and grown bigger because it physically is chunkier than the original Switch.
Nintendo has never traditionally been one to do the Sony numbering system.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. I just felt like it was a good opportunity to dive into some old, some nostalgia and be a little bit retro and just, and it does. Super Switch to me just fit. I'm probably going to continue to call it Super Switch.
I might do that too, actually, believe it or not. That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot more sense to me because of
the unofficial name.
Yeah.
See if we can get it to spread.
There we go. I'm calling it the Super Switch.
Every time we talk about it, getting that Super Switch.
Which honest to goodness, that's not without its like the whole thing with the Switch. I've been seeing all kinds of mixed reviews. I've seen people hating on it. I've seen people upset with it. I've seen people who are indifferent. And then there's some others who are super, super excited about it. And I don't know. I don't quite understand. I don't understand.
Fell over.
Jones, are you okay, sir?
Trouble.
Are you in need of assistance?
I think Janigan had a earthquake.
I'm using my phone because my computer's hard drive decided it wanted to take a massive crap. And until I can get the funds together to replace it, this is what I got. So
apologize for audio issues. Bear with us. Technical difficulties. It'll be all right. We still got Janigan. We still got him.
He's still here, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, but anyway, back to the whole Switch thing. It's like they're adding some things, and I look at it kind of in a way that I look at it like if you've got like a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck or something like that, because that was one of the big complaints that I heard is like, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. And I'm like, what do you mean too expensive? You're not going to go buy another handheld that cheap unless it's like, what is it, MSI Claw or something, one of those that's like a strictly just streaming. Don't have any kind of high end to it at all.
That's the thing I like about the Switch. It pulls double duty. It can be a handheld. It can be a console that you dock.
And it can be a console. And that's the other go-to is like, even with your, you've got your ROG Allies and your Steam Decks and things like that. Well, if you want to play it up on your TV or whatever, it's not just as simple as walking over and slapping it into a dock. It's you've actually kind of got to do a little bit of work. I mean, it's a little more involved. And so I'm kind of like, I'm not going to get too upset about the price. The price seems like it's reasonable to me for a new console, especially that can do what this thing can do.
What it can do as well as it can for the graphical updates we're getting on it. I mean,
yeah,
let's be honest. The original Switch, even when it came out, kind of hurt in a few areas and struggled in places.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was oversold on its graphical abilities, because I don't think that's what they marketed it with.
Right.
That's what, it can do You know,
Graphical abilities, it was of course dead last. There's no questioning.
yeah, it wasn't marketed that way, and I don't think Switch 2 has been either, other than they have said, here's what it can do.
Yeah.
You know, you plug it into the dock and you can get what, like 4K,
I think so.
you know, and I heard somebody complain that they weren't getting 4K on like the handheld, and I'm like, why would you need 4K on the handheld anyway?
Yeah.
Not to mention the
You
fact
have
that
a handheld because it can do 4K. You have a handheld because it's portable and you're able to do gaming on the go and you're able to take it with you. And it's not meant for visual. It's meant for go.
yeah, it's like, well,
It's
okay,
convenience.
I'm gonna sit down with this handheld creature that can do 4K on a little bitty 7-inch screen that doesn't make a hill of beans, really, in the grand scheme of things. It's not really going to help me out any. And the fact that it's going to burn a lot more battery, more than likely in the process, it's going to be, churning through some juice. So then you run into the same thing that back in the day that the Sega, the Sega Game Gear had. The thing freaking 8 batteries because it was like backlit. It had horsepower, but it
don't work anymore. The screen went out, but yeah, it was a battery hog.
Oh, that thing would devour batteries, like just absolutely devour them. Like when I told my mom and dad that they made a battery pack for that thing, it didn't take much for them to decide that they wanted to get the battery packs that plug into it.
Yeah.
So that it could just plug in and charge. Because we were spending so much money on AA batteries, it was a no-brainer. It was like, there's no way that you're going to do any better, or any worse, really.
I think it was
a few months.
It was a business agreement between Sega and the battery companies.
Probably. Keeping the Energizer Bunny in business.
Oh yeah, all day long and then some. But that's kind of the thing that it kind of goes back to. It's like they had to juggle what they could juggle with, and if the battery life lives up to the press, if the abilities live up to the press of what they've touted, $450 is not unreasonable.
No,
it's not unreasonable at all.
And I feel like I've seen probably less people fussing about the price itself of the console.
More the games.
The games.
Was the second one. Was the second.
A lot of heat on Mario Kart World being 80. But Donkey Kong is being listed at the new price, like Xbox and Sony are doing at the $69.99.
Yeah.
So
which is fine.
I'm gonna give Nintendo benefit of the doubt. They claim, we priced it at 80 because it's worth 80 and we're giving you $80 worth of content. And honestly, if they go the route of like, maybe that $80 is including the equivalent of future DLC. If I ain't got to pay any more money for DLC and just here's my 80 at the front, give me content updates.
Oh yeah.
Now they've not said that. I'm theorizing, but I mean, at that point, yeah, it saves me from going back and buying DLC. Just keep giving me updates at that 80. And I think Mario Kart World is being built kind of around that. I mean, the nature of world and all that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just the open world ability, and that's one of the things that's like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. An open world Mario Kart? Like, what kind of thought? I'm really hoping that they really put a lot of thought into the stuff, like they kind of did with some of the older open world games that they'd done, from yesteryear. I mean, but you think of like what all they put into Breath of the Wild. Well, really any Zelda game since like, the 64. You know, there's more open world, and then now you're getting to go and explore and do things, but in the realm of Mario Kart, which is really, really, really cool to me. And it kind of has that whole Horizon, like Forza Horizon vibe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, exactly. It's yeah, Mario Kart Horizon. that's a good description.
so yeah. So I'm tickled about that. I'm actually really looking forward. Actually, me and my wife both are really looking forward to that because I mentioned, hey, you know, they're going to be having a new Mario Kart, and all I heard was ooh, and I was like, yeah, and they're going to have a new Mario Party too. Ooh, and it didn't matter what it cost then. It was just like we're getting the Switch too.
Yep.
So
Well, and I mean, let's all remember just how groundbreaking Breath of the Wild was. You know.
oh yeah,
There was doubters on that. So, you know, let's give the open world treatment for Mario Kart a shot here. And you know, on the other side of it, and this is what I've told some other people, I didn't blink at that 80. Yeah, I'm not used to a lot of games costing 80. But at the same time, the three of us grew up in a time when there were $80 Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Depending on where you went.
so
So I've seen 80 before in a time when 80 was not acceptable. Way more inflated. Way more inflated.
Maybe Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy games I know ran at least 70.
Yep.
Secret of Mana was up there. So
yeah.
I've seen $80 games before in the 90s. So yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, they did what special edition? You go get special edition games that cost $100.
yeah.
You know. Oh, and what did it come? It come in a 10.
I finally stopped.
Or some kind of crap with it.
I finally stopped ordering special editions and sold off most of them, honestly, because I'm just like,
you start running out of room to put all the shit that comes with it.
well, and then you're looking at it, it's like I have a tote of just crap. of stuff, and I'm just like, you know, because special edition, and yeah, I purged a lot of it.
Yeah, actually got a chat here. Somebody commented, Alan commented, said, yeah, they were 50 plus back in high school days, which had been back in the 90s, you know, so early 90s. So yeah, I mean that there's been a lot of, like, I guess, you know, there's been some inflation on games because used to you could pick them up like $40-50, and then it was $60, and then now you're getting like these 70, 69, you know, $69.99, whatever they want to tout.
Yeah.
So we'll have to admit, I do recall when the NES first launched over here, the NES Black Label game cartridges, they were actually $30 a piece.
So I mean, back then it varied wildly.
What?
It varied wildly back then. Yeah.
Yeah, there were $30 a piece when they first launched,
and you know, there's still going to be games that are. I mean, like I said, Donkey Kong was showing 70. You know, I don't mind paying extra as long as the content's there.
Yeah, if they've done their homework, I guess along the lines of that. If they've done their homework and they're doing a good job with the game, I'm not going to tout, or I'm not going to get too upset about spending a little extra money just because everything else is freaking expensive.
Yeah,
I mean, you go buy any game, unless you're getting it on like Game Pass or something on Xbox, you're still having to pay for Game Pass. You know, I mean,
yeah.
And that's not expensive, but it ain't cheap either.
Right.
You know? And so it's just like, I mean, it's like, yeah, if you really play games, like you're downloading a new game like every other week, then yeah, you may be getting your monies out of it. But if you're like me and you only get around to maybe one or two new games a year, you essentially just
I mean, we essentially use it as a way to play online with one another and as a not so wonderfully great chat program.
pretty well.
I mean, it allows us to chat, but Microsoft, let's face it, it's got some issues.
Xbox chat has been so wonky here lately. Good grief.
You actually leave the chat, and maybe a 2 hour later, it'll finally tell you that that person left the chat.
Yeah.
2 hours, dude. I logged I logged in the other day, and it told me that you and Joey left from last night. It was a full 24 hours. I logged in.
Just
I'm
wanted
like,
to make sure you knew.
well, thanks. Didn't really need to know, but cool.
They left last night. It's all good. Just in case you forgot.
Just letting you know, we left.
But yeah, so all kinds of fun and excitement that's coming with a new Super Nintendo or the Switch, Super Switch. There we go.
Super Switch, man.
Super
Switch.
Um,
Hey, you know I'm going to be looking for something color scheme, in the old SNES Famicom colors.
yeah, that would be cool.
That gray and purple.
Yeah,
No, the Japanese Famicom
the Japanese
colors,
version was
the yellow, blue, red, and green.
Yeah. I prefer that actually.
I do too.
I like the color scheme. Japanese always got the cooler stuff.
They really did. I
The
actually
UK, what the frick with the UK? I mean, why do these English people get to have fun? They send us this blocky chunk gray thing with it's like the void of any color.
Are better.
I don't know what they were thinking on our design.
Hey,
I mean, we accepted it because we didn't know any different at the time, but
Yeah.
the design for the original NES, when they brought it over, the American design, they actually were thinking of VCRs and it matching that and being able to put it on top of that, or being able to put things on top of the NES itself. That's what they were thinking.
I know. And you got to look at the economics and stuff of the time, and I get it. I'm just glad we're all on the same page now.
It's true.
Yeah. But
yeah, I know there was, we had the initial concern about tariffs affecting the Switch, which that looks overall. I mean, yeah, accessories I think went up, but I wouldn't say anything just dramatic. I still ordered the camera. I still ordered a Pro controller.
I didn't order the stock camera. The little eyeball on a stick. No.
Yeah.
No. I got the Hori Piranha Plant camera.
Yeah. I wish I could have.
It's cool.
It looks cool. I want it. But I also have small children running around, and that thing is going to be a magnet sitting on my TV stand.
Have you ever thought about sitting down with your children and beating them?
I mean, I've got a 3-year-old, and then there's two 1-year-olds that are on the verge of walking. So
oh yeah, that thing will get eat.
So I'm like, yeah, I can't have that thing looking like a nice toy to play with.
It doesn't get any better when they're 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love him to death, though.
We do. We love them to death. We have to.
We have to.
But yeah, we have to. We got to. We get to love our children. But speaking of the camera, I do really like the way they sold its capabilities and what it can do.
Yeah, actually, when I was watching the, which if anybody that's listening on the, I don't know how many people are watching, but
we got two.
We got two. Anyway,
Shout out to our two.
yeah, our two viewers. If you haven't watched it, the Nintendo Direct that they did, that was just going over the Switch or the Super Switch, Switch 2. Yeah, if you didn't get to watch that, go watch it because it's actually pretty cool. Like the chat features, the cameras, being able to like, actually manage kind of like how you see the person as you're playing a game, and you don't even have to play the same game with the people that you're in chat with, and then the game sharing. That is cool. That is what I had been waiting on for the original Switch, was something like that, because it's like, how often do you have? In my family, we all have Switch lights, or one of us would be on a full size Switch console, and then 2 or 3 of us would be on Switch lights. That means I have to buy 4 games. If we all want to play, the same game on our respective consoles, I have to buy 4 of them. Dude, that's pretty expensive.
Let's take that information and revisit back to this game costing. $80 for that one game,
and you can share it. Yeah,
$4. So basically, you're spending $20 per person for all 4 people to play one game versus buying a $60 game 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. No, I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't seen that really brought up anywhere else in all the assessments on that. So that's a great point. I mean, that's a great way to look at that.
Like,
spend 80 or spend 240.
Yeah,
I'll take the 80 all day long and then some. I'll take the 70 if I can buy one game and then share it.
The whole family's ready to rock.
And and everybody. And and that goes back to the to the Nintendo online, whatever their flavor is, they called it. I think it's just Nintendo Online. But okay, that was perfectly timed. I just saw Jones just go, and the light came on. He's magic, folks. He also could be Zordon from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I think he's Zordon.
Could be.
But yeah, so
well, and their direct was so refreshing, because I feel like that's something that has been lacking in gaming for a while now. Is they brought excitement about the console. They showed us why we needed it. I mean, let's look at the PS5 and the Xbox current generation. The console announcements was just like, yep, here it is. It's a new box. It does more things, but like there was nothing to it. It was just more of the same. And that can be fine. I mean, I still game on both of them and have my games I play on them, but Nintendo is still continuing to drive the industry forward and find new ways to innovate.
It always has.
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo is doing exactly what Nintendo has always done. And so to evolve that social aspect of what we're doing. I mean, how many times we're on Xbox Game Chat playing different games, but now look at that from the Nintendo perspective, and like, I can watch you and see what you're laughing at when that dinosaur eats you or whatever. I hear y'all complaining about Narc all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
but I mean, I can just
had downloaded or had hard drive space.
I know. Well, Oblivion just ate up the last of what I had. I thought I was going to have some space finally, but
Yeah.
Blame Bethesda. Sorry.
That was poor. That was very, 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 very. Yeah. Downloading Oblivion.
Hey,
it is literally a remastered version.
Yeah, that's over 100 gigs
of an old game.
I downloaded it too.
Well, hey, I am actually more prone to download games now that I've convinced Comcast to let me have unlimited internet or unlimited data, because that was the biggest thing is like, and why I don't think I ever fully leveraged Game Pass was because I'm like, games coming in at 50 to 100 gig a pop.
Oh yeah, you can chew
I
through.
can't
if
afford
you've got data cap. Yeah.
So, yeah, I opened up a chat and I was like, look, what do I got to do? You're not letting me do it on the website, and they set me up. So I am a little more prone now to try stuff on Game Pass and be like, okay, this sucks. I'm not worried about losing out on 100
This
gig.
is awful.
100 gig of my 1.2 terabytes.
Play this game. That game sucks. Delete.
Seriously. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the social aspect, they did a great job. I think demonstrating that value, and I hope we can all kind of get on the same page and enjoy that. And
Well, I mean,
I'm all about it. I'm all in.
I've heard and seen some folks that said they're probably going to pass, on the new Switch, and I'm like, that's if that's your that's your motivation or whatever, inclination, whatever you want to call it. If that's what you want to do, then fine. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not going to try to talk people into buying a $450 item because number one, things are a lot more expensive nowadays. Just going out to eat is ridiculous. Just everything's so much more expensive. Some people don't have $450 to throw at a new console, and that's fine. Somebody in this group just says, "Hey, that sounds like me." But we have there are horror stories though, and me and Ronald got to endure that horror story.
Oh yes, you did.
Remember when the launch of a console and pre-ordering a console was fun? This was not fun.
The watch party and hang out at the store.
And honestly, that's why I've chose the topics it's tonight. The Switch, and as it says in the episode title, "Standing in Line." This is gonna be the segue coming up. Yeah, so 6-inch and I, we endured the midnight fiasco that was Switch 2 pre-orders earlier this week. And on one hand, now I'll say this. On one hand, I was thankful because it was done at a time that I could be at home. I was not at work. It was not during work hours. I could kind of set up my zone and be ready to go. I appreciated the timing of that for that because, I've action figure releases, other launches, they'll be at noon, middle of the day sometimes. And I'm like, I'm in a meeting. I'm at lunch. I'm at work. I'm going places, just the weirdest of times. So I appreciated the time. And 6-inch and I, we were on Xbox chat. We were going to be each other's support. We had browser windows open for every retailer, including one that wasn't even doing pre-orders at midnight.
I was going to say, thanks, GameStop.
We were convinced GameStop was going live at midnight too, because everybody else was.
Yeah, jerks.
We just refreshed the fool out of GameStop. Like, what are they doing? Why are they not? Where is it? Like 30 minutes in, I think I finally looked. And I was like, they're tomorrow or later today at like 11.
They're not going live until tomorrow at like 11. Or was it 11 or 10?
It was 11 a.m. on their website.
It was 11 a.m.
Now, if you went to the store, it was when the store opened.
And that, and I went by the store, and there was people standing out in front of it. And they were handing out little slips of paper, and I was driving by going, "Huh? I could have just done that."
Look at that.
Yeah. I probably should have done that.
Yeah,
because it was bad.
So we start the refreshing.
I'm pretty sure.
We start the refresh and dead on midnight on the dot. Best Buy, Walmart, Target.
Refresh again.
GameStop just for fun because apparently
GameStop got hammered anyway. We were stress testing their servers.
we were going to beat their servers up too.
And so Target was the first one to blink. They were the first ones that like I got anything meaningful out of.
Oh yeah.
And so I got it added to cart. And actually, I think it was on the Target app. I think the website just died on me. The Target website just died, but the app worked.
I got
Stress test for the website, not good.
Yeah, so I got it into my cart and then checked out. And at that point in time, my bank decides that looks like it could be a little suspicious. We're just going to block it. And so I get
man, you just did. It looks like it could be a little suspicious.
Yeah,
that man don't spend that kind of money at Target. That's a trick.
Yeah, why would he be spending, $500 at Target? Why would he do that? and yeah, so it just booted me out and canceled it paid for it. So like I had it, and then I get a notice like 2 minutes later that it was canceled.
Nope.
So in the 2 minutes time frame of when this happened versus when it was canceled, Target's webpage basically became a smoldering pile of crap, and you couldn't do nothing on it for like the next probably 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And then finally it pops up and says sold out.
Yep.
Sorry.
Kudos to Target's IT department for predicting that one.
Well, it was all of them.
Yeah.
But so meanwhile, while 6 inches enduring this, Target website's down for me. I've got the app. Add cart, error, add cart, error, add cart, error. Finally goes into cart. Yes. All right. Pay. What's your CVV code? Holy shit. I'm in gym shorts and a robe because it's midnight. My wallet's upstairs.
At that point,
I have pre-ordered G.I. Joe left and right from Target. They got my card number. They don't need my CVV code. But I'm like, damn it to shit. I don't know. You probably, my headset, I just chuck it.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I just hear
I bolt.
And
bolt across the house, up the stairs, try not to wake anybody up, grab the wallet, back downstairs. Because at this point, I'm like, seconds matter.
Yeah, I just left mine on. I was like,
It's times like this I'm glad my CVV code is memorized.
I should have. Well, and anymore, I have so much that I run through PayPal too that doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I got it and wasn't taking it, and it like next thing I know, I get the notice payment went through. So I'm like, okay, got it.
So at this point, it is now probably 15 to 1 a.m., like about 15 minutes to about 1 o'clock, because Best Buy's stuff didn't go live until like 12:30.
Best that we could tell, like Best Buy just didn't even blink. They didn't move. They didn't do nothing.
Nothing till after 12:30. And so, we are hanging out. We're still refreshing. Ronnie is now 1, I'm 0. So we keep banging, banging, banging. I get in line. Like Best Buy comes up, I get in line. He's on Walmart. He gets in line on Walmart.
I refreshed Walmart so much that they blocked my IP on my desktop. I couldn't get it to work. I could not get past their robots. I'm like, I'm clicking the button that says I'm not a robot.
Walmart thinks they're getting DDoSed, so they just totally just cut him off. They're just like,
I'm able to get through in the Walmart app.
So
by some weird miracle, Walmart was the one I was able to get the accessories.
Yeah,
because once I got Target, then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna take the time to actually add other things to my cart that I want, because the console's selling out. I'm like, I'm not wasting time on the accessories. I need the console.
Yeah. Well, we go to Best Buy. I get in line. Mine just takes a dump. I don't know what happened to it. It just went back to the main page of Best Buy's web page. Like it wouldn't even let me, there was nothing, it didn't add nothing to my cart, didn't say, hey, but it would you'd click on the thing and it would pop up a window and it would say, you're in line. And then it would just sit there and just, don't leave this page. It'll, so on and so forth. We did that mess, and I freaking sat here. Golly, dude, it was, Ronnie gets all of his stuff. I'm still fighting, trying to just get one, get something. And you ended up going on to bed.
Well, no, so hang on. So I get a Walmart. Now, bear in mind, I continue my fight for insurance purposes because I don't trust I don't trust the order to stick, just in case. So I continue my fight. And then also I figure, well, if my additional ones stick and 6-inch can't get anything in, then I'm going to be a good buddy and help my friend out. And it just boils down to extra coverage. So
that, and me and you both said that we both have, I've had at least 2 consoles that I pre-ordered from Best Buy just get canceled straight up. Just get canceled. Yeah. No notification. No, hey, by the way, sorry, we can't fill your order. None of that crap. It just straight up just flushed it down the toilet. And come day of the time, day to go pick it up when it's supposed to be in, and I get in, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have an order for you."
Yeah.
They've done that twice.
So it's just
GameStop has done it to me once.
Yep.
Over something that I pre-ordered that I was really looking forward to.
Walmart did it to me this week over something I had pre-ordered since October.
And Walmart I think has done it to me as well. It
was a Ninja Turtle crossover with Masters of the Universe, the foot soldier that's basically King Hiss combined. Yeah, had that pre-ordered since October, and they've just suddenly decided. I guarantee I could go to a local Walmart that actually still carries Masters of the Universe and find it. Well, that's actually what I did with one of the other ones a few months back. But yeah, we've all suffered pre-order cancellations. So I got one through with Walmart, and then absolutely Walmart is the worst online. They'll complete an order and then 2 seconds later be like, no, we changed our mind. I mean, it's true. You're muted, 6-inch. You're still muted. There you go.
Yeah, Alan just popped a comment and said that Walmart is the worst online, no contest. It's like,
yeah. So yeah, I got the Walmart one in, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to focus my remaining efforts on Best Buy, and I'm stuck in the perpetual line that 6-inch is as well, and I got 2 tabs open. One is just like basic console. The other one, I thought, well, I'll think outside of the box, and instead of just, I'm going to try and get this bundle that they've got, and see if that like puts it in a little bit of a different queue or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to play it a little different. So I'm trying to pre-order a bundle that comes with Donkey Kong down the road. Like you get the console, and then in July they'll go ahead and ship you the Donkey Kong. And just waiting, and I think it was 1:30 when Best Buy finally just randomly started working. And so I got that one in. So I got 3. And I'm fully moving forward with the idea that 1 or 2 will not stick. If they do stick, then I know plenty of people that I'm going to help them out. And we fought the good fight for them.
Yeah.
And in the worst case, I'll just return it. I mean,
so after all that, you go on to bed.
Yeah. I have nowhere else left to pre-order from.
I had 3 tabs open for Best Buy. I got on Walmart's website, started beating and slapping around with them. Every single one of my Best Buy tabs reset and kicked me out of the line. I rejoined the line again, and about 30 minutes later, it kicks me out of the line, and then it says it's sold out. Meanwhile,
Zordon turns himself upside down.
Zordon, what in the world are you doing?
That ain't working. I was trying something.
Trying to move your camera around and make it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another. Anyway, continue.
I don't know. We might keep you on your phone.
This is way more hilarious watching the Zordon shuffle.
Like I can't tell. I can't tell what's going on, but I'm not sure if we need to start calling Andy M or what. Freaking tornado or something.
Oh, this is terrible.
But anyway, yeah. So I think I ended up managing somehow, shape, form, or fashion to secure one on Walmart's webpage. When that was the last one that I had gotten on after Ronnie had apparently DDoSed them and got kicked off their webpage.
It didn't matter what browser I used. Nothing would work. And I could, again, and it was their check was click here and hold it to confirm you're not a robot.
Yes. Well, see, that was what mine originally did.
Yeah.
Where I was sitting there just having to click on it and hold it. And then as soon as I'd let off of it, it'd go, ding, you're not a robot, or you're not, you're human. And then it would just reload the same page. You have to click on it again and hold it.
Yeah.
It was like,
I promise I'm not a robot. I know I've beat the hell out of your servers tonight. But who hasn't?
Yeah. So
what do we got done?
Yeah. So we ended up. I ended up getting one from Walmart, and then I ended up having to go. I think the next day, I pre-ordered because they sold out of the Piranha Plant. Really cool camera. They sold out of that one. Everybody sold out of that one, except for guess who? GameStop, because they didn't launch the crap until the next day. So yeah, so we did that. But we got talking too while we in the midst of all this. It was like, what happened to the days of the go stand in line? Go stand in line outside the store, get your little slip of paper. You either know you're going to get one,
and you're only competing with the locals.
Yeah. Now,
Not
granted,
the entire internet.
where I wanted to beat up some of the locals, but you know,
We have ran across some odd birds in our adventures.
yeah, there was that one dude that worked at Target, and we knew he worked at Target, but then he would also come in to get the amiibos.
Yeah.
So it was really strange because he would show up to like the launches for the amiibos for like the new ones, and we'd be out there waiting in line, and that joker would come walking right on up and just walk right up the front doors and just walk up and stand in front of everybody. I'm like, what are you doing, brother? Get back the line. I don't care if you work here or not.
There was a few times you could tell he got frustrated with us and several of us early birds.
Oh yeah. We showed up. What was it? We showed up one morning. We showed up there at like 4 o'clock, and he showed up about 30 minutes later, and you could tell he was ticked because he wasn't the first person there.
Yeah.
Well, then the next launch, we showed up at 3 o'clock. He shows up at 4.
He was so mad.
Damn, dude, that dude looked like he could chew nails. I mean, he was so ticked. He was driving by just like.
He come up to us and stuff. He's like, "Well, they've got this, and this, and they got this amount of this, and this amount of this, and well, I guess you guys are going to get them, and anybody else past that is not going to get it." And but that's the thing, like, you know, it's just experience. We've been through enough of these where it's like, if you know you want something, and you know the demand, you got to show up.
You have to get it.
You got to show up.
We went. And
I mean,
for the Wii was probably that was the one that was the most. I guess it was the most fun. Just because of the fact that we got there like early. And when I say early, I mean late, because it was the night before.
I think I was on that line. I think I was like number 16 or 17.
Yeah, and we weren't even. I was gonna say we weren't even at the front of the line.
Yeah,
and I think they ended up. How many did they end up getting? 26 or 36?
it was a decent amount. I mean, I know we were good.
It was a fairly good amount.
Yeah,
and there was a dude and 2 girls in front of us. And the one girl was super cool. She was just happy to be there. She was having a good time. We was all standing in line chatting. The dude was talking. I didn't really care about him. He didn't really have anything good to say. And then the other girl, well, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. She was not a very pleasant individual. And so we get in line, and we got in line behind them, and then we go inside. Once because they came down through there and they handed us all our little pieces of paper. Well, it wasn't a piece of paper; it was a full printer sheet with a number on it. And so we cruise on in, we line up, and everybody's jovial, everybody's having a good time. We had a blast.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun, and the best lines have always been the ones where everybody's just like, let's just hang out, have a good time.
And but it was so freaking cold.
November, man. I think it was November. It may have been December. I'm trying to remember, but it was cold that year.
It was so cold outside, and I think they actually brought us into the store early because it was so cold. And we were standing out there in it, and had been. Some of us had been out there for 4 or 5, 6 hours.
Yep.
No. Or more. And we got in there, and the dude in front of us was trying to buy him one, the girl behind him, and the girl behind her, which the one girl was just there, and the other girl, well, she was a witch. She was not a very nice person.
She really wasn't.
And so he was trying to put that on a credit card. So he's trying to buy 3 on the same credit card, and it was limit 1 per person.
Yeah, at that, everybody knew what he was doing.
And that's when we figured out that's why I kind of got the whole kind of skeezy feel off of him, is because he was basically scalping them. He was buying them, and then he's going to resell them for higher dollars for Christmas to, gouge people, which there's a certain place in hell for people like you. If you do that, I'm looking at you, because that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. I understand the need and drive to want more money, but that's jerk face move.
Well, it's very funny because there's already Switch 2 listings on eBay.
Oh yeah. I don't doubt it a bit.
Yeah.
650, $699, $660.
We had
That's not
turned,
bad.
like, we didn't, but they had turned people away because they were coming in with their, coming up. More people had come up to get in line, and they had handed out the slips of paper, to say, okay, this is how many we have. We don't have any more than that. And so a lot of people just kind of flittered away. So there might have been one or two just to make sure, just in case something happens, because you never know. And then that dude couldn't buy those 3, so they left empty-handed. So that means there was 3 extras. So as me and Ron were walking out, there was a lady came by, and she was in a minivan, and she was really wanting to get one for her kids. And she was like, are they sold out? And then I was like, actually, if you just throw that thing in the ditch, run in there. and they I know they didn't sell 3. So just bust out, get in there. I said, you're going to get at least, you'll be able to get one. And I think we actually waited around, and she came out, and she was like,
She was so happy.
And I was just like,
I mean,
oh yeah,
that's what it was all about. It probably made those kids Christmas. I mean,
And that was, and of course, well, I mean, it made my wife's Christmas, because I brought it home. She didn't even know. Like, I brought it home. I was like, but
look what I got here.
I think my biggest that Target was. We have a lot of history.
Yeah,
all of us. But that is the Target I spent the entire night in front of. Because the Majora's Mask 3DS.
yes.
And I had a chance to pre-order that one. And at the time, it didn't quite click with me the advantages of the new 3DS XL.
Yes, yeah.
And then once I realized, I was like, man, I should have pre-ordered it. So it got down to crunch time, did the inventory checker, and that Target was going to get 2. So initially I roll in, I think it was 1:00 actually when I rolled in to that Target, and I park. And at that time I was actually the first person there. And I'm like, I'm just going to hang in my car until I kind of get a feel for things, because it was February, if I'm not mistaken, when that came out. And
Yeah.
oh man, here comes someone else, and I'm like, crap. So 1 a.m, and this guy, he immediately hops out of his car and runs to the front door, and I'm like, well, I know this Target has 2 of them. And hey, Jen, thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jim just hi. Hey, Checkpoint Gaming.
Checkpoint Gaming. Yeah. So yeah, this guy shows up, and he immediately marches to the door, and I'm like, man, it's just me and you right now. Can you just hang in your car for a little bit? No. So I proceed from 1 to 8 a.m. when that Target opens in February to get that Majora's Mask 3DS. Oh.
I ended up that same 3DS, because I wanted one too, but I didn't stay up all night. I ended up going to the Target in Turkey Creek and got there at the butt crack of dawn, and managed to score one. Whew. Well, thank you, Jen. Kelly's moving around down here.
But yeah, there's just so much fun in those. I mean, whether it was the initial pre-order, you show up early. Like I said, you're only competing with the locals.
Yeah.
You would typically know how many a store was going to get, and then you get to midnight. The actual launch, and it was just hanging out. And I miss that social aspect of these launches. I mean, I don't know. We kind of recreated that. Me and you on Xbox chat the other night. I mean, it was frustrating, but we had a good time.
It's both just like dragging hind end, sitting here. I'm just like
that next day.
Looked like the South Park guy, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they really were. I think there's a few pictures of us floating around, in a big gargantuan line of World of Warcraft, or the next WoW expansion, or
when me and
Smash
you
Brothers.
For the NES Classic, you remember that? We went to Walmart up here by the house, and the dude had what was his name? Zach. Zach was the manager up there in the electronics department.
Yeah,
and he was doing midnight releases for stuff, and I was we had so much fun.
It's like I said, it really brought together the community. I think because and I mean they opened up that one for the midnight release of the NES Classic.
Yeah.
Yep. You have spent the night in a parking lot. that is an achievement for any gamer, I think. That should be an achievement. Spent the night in a parking lot.
You get extra. You get extra nerd points or something, I guess. I don't know.
Something.
I don't know what
we need a challenge coin for that.
Challenge
Spent the night in a parking lot for a game or game console.
Game or game console.
Uh,
I was actually looking through some of my pictures because I've got pictures of when we went. We were actually there for the NES NES Classic.
Cause see, we were all over that one, and we did good on that launch. But then, like, I remember the SNES Classic as well, and it was like, okay. Of course, Nintendo, thankfully, they boosted their production numbers on that one, and it wasn't as bad. But even then, that night, we were like, hey, look, don't repeat the NES Classic. If you want one, come hang out with us at the Walmart. You can get one.
Yeah. Because there were so many people who wanted one, and then come to find out later on they didn't get one, and then they started looking online for them, and they were like, I can't buy one of those. And I was like,
yeah.
I mean, why can't you? And then it came out. It was like, oh, that's why you can't. It's because people who have them and bought them are now trying to resell them for like $200. I was like, Nope.
And that was another one of those spend a few hours in front of a Target moments. Because I got my second NES Classic through a Target, and that was the thing. I wasn't after it to resell or anything like that. Even hook up a friend. I wanted a second one to mess with, so I could jailbreak it and put more games on it. Because I didn't want to take the chance of bricking my good one. Yeah. So I got that second one. And what's that?
Brick the secondary one.
Brick the secondary. I needed one that I could actually afford to mess up. Minor. So just real quick, minor achievement for us. Thank you to the 5 viewers we have and all the chat interactions. That's going a long way for us and helping us. Now that we're officially restarting things. So just big shout out to the 5 that are watching and interacting on chat.
That chat blew up for a second. I was like, hey, look at that.
That is awesome to see. So thank you.
Here, I actually found a picture, Ron, of us. Actually, technically, it's a young you and a skinnier me. But this, I'll go ahead and do this one. It's let's
A younger you and a skinnier me.
yeah. We'll do the image download. Let's do that open.
All right, let me see here. Hang on.
You two using their fancy computers.
Yeah. So there you go. That was the of course, obviously we're at Walmart. We're back in the back at the where they had the photo pickup before they moved it all around. And they just pulled the TV down off the wall back here and hooked up the NES and the classic, and we got to play it up to the launch. So we were challenging other people. I've actually got a.
Well, I remember. I had that on the stage. There we go. I'm gonna leave that up there for a few more seconds.
Well, I got another one.
Sorry.
Oh crap! Never mind. I got another one.
We all work in IT, but we can't work the technology.
This is lights, camera.
Well, and see, and that was in the back when they actually still had a customer service like photo department, and all that. And remember, they brought out cupcakes. I mean, it was just a blast.
Yeah, so there's
the other picture.
Yeah, there's the other picture, and so I don't know who two of those people are, but obviously right here you got Ron sitting right here next, closest to the camera, and then that Zach there, and they're playing obviously Contra, but
that would be Super C.
Well, it's Contra.
But it's Super C.
Don't quit. Just stop. Just stop.
Here comes the lore expert.
It's all Contra. Okay?
Super C.
Super Contra.
Anyway.
Yeah, my boy is getting bold over here talking about three old men talking is entertaining.
Hey, we are entertaining.
You know what would be really entertaining is if you went upstairs and then we could hear the beating.
Yeah, whenever I say, well, it's time to go beat some boys. Yeah, I actually had a better picture that had it had the cupcakes and like all the good stuffs.
I remember even the original Switch. We went to the Walmart launch.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that might have been that one.
Okay. The social aspect, you get together, you hang out, talk games. I miss that. I miss that a lot from those midnight launches. You're still looking, ain't you?
I've got.
I know you got them. So now you're gonna make me start digging through the old archive and see what I can find.
I've got a couple here. We'll do that one, and then we'll do that one.
Oh, hang on, and I will. Okay, yeah. I mean, it was so sacred that we put the NES Classic on a stool.
On a stool, yeah. Until I think they came over and they were like, "Let's put it on a table," and so they moved it over and put it. On the table.
It didn't help. They gave you like a 3-foot cord with that thing.
Oh yeah, so yeah. And that was the one thing that we actually all of us were complaining about too. Was like, as soon as we got it, was like, could they make this cord any shorter? Jeez. It was like, well, you want me to set like just right up against it? Yeah.
Yeah, they grabbed those out of the bakery. I mean, I think they had those already. It wasn't planned, but it still worked because hey, Mario cupcakes. Why not?
It was probably a day before expiration.
I'm looking.
We're gonna get rid of these.
I'm trying to see that. I can't tell. I can't zoom in on the actual screenshot. But I can kick that picture from the studio. That's funny. Yeah. Again, the fancy. We put our NES Classic on a pedestal.
Well, I mean, the original NES is we put on the edge of a TV.
Well, yeah. And then we'd sit, 2 feet from the TV, and our dads would be like, "You're gonna burn your retinas out."
Right. So really, that little 3-foot cord, that was just to help us with the nostalgia.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Here's a really good one. You wanna see some? This is from back in yesteryear.
Okay.
This one is from Smash Brothers when it launched on the Switch.
Yeah. Okay.
And they had a tournament that night at Walmart. And of course,
In the pickup area.
In the pickup area. And yeah. And so we're back there like, I mean, I got my butt handed to me. They were like, "You gonna play? You gonna play?" And I was like, "Dude, I hadn't played anything like that in a long time." And this one dude comes rolling in with his original controller, and he's like, "Have y'all got the plug so I can plug it in? Get the little USB dongle thing?" And "Oh yeah, brother, I got you hooked up." They hooked dude up. I'm like, "No, you don't let that guy come in with his own controller and play. He's gonna win."
That's the equivalent of the kid pulling out the power glove in the Wizard.
That dude's playing us. Hey.
So I got my butt handed to me pretty hard on that one.
It's so bad.
It was.
Hang on.
One of Tobey Maguire's first movie appearances. It's not the first.
Oh yeah, I've got my power glove over there. But I'm not gonna go get it.
I actually, this one, they actually cut the cord because, I mean, anybody that actually used a power glove knew the thing didn't work worth a damn. I actually ordered this one off of Etsy. It's got LEDs added into it, but I was like, I want a power glove to just like wear around. I don't need the cords. I don't need it to work. I just want it to look cool. So, yeah.
You know what? Need to do that. Get a power glove, get a belt with the NES control on it, and a holster for the zapper. Run around, it's Captain in.
I'm still kicking myself because Bull Airs actually released a Captain N varsity jacket, and I never got around to ordering it, and it sold out. But I really wanted that Captain N varsity jacket. And I should have ordered it because I could have done that. I'll go ahead and remove that picture. Get us back to us. I am looking for one of the pictures that I know I've got. There's just no good way to search for it and bring it up. I'm looking from a midnight launch. Wait a minute. Hang on. Here it is. Give me 1 second. Save image. All right. Here it comes.
Here it comes. Oh yeah. Oh hey, that was you and Shag. Where did it go?
Wait. Oh, it shuffled the pictures. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can tell who the early birds were. Me leaning on the counter, number one there.
Yep. Who took that picture?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. Good Lord, my voice is finally starting to fail on me. I inhaled a bunch of pollen the past week, and
I think that was me.
was it you?
It was me. Yeah, because I didn't pre-order one that night.
You were just there to hang out
I
because
was
you're a
just
cool
there to
dude
hang
like
out.
that.
And then I ended up getting one later. That was I was there for that.
Was that WoW? What did we pre-order?
It was the DS.
Was it the DS? Yes, it was the 3DS
It
launch.
was the 3DS.
Yes, that is it.
I wanted the blue one, and I was sitting there waiting, and I was like, because I couldn't afford it. It's basically what it boiled down to. And you and Shag were just like, bro, I'm gonna get me a 3DS, and I was like, okay, cool.
Well,
I'll go with you.
I mean, we weren't married at that point.
That's true. I didn't have the motivation that I have now, meaning kids and a wife.
But yes, so that is what that is. That is what that is. I couldn't remember. So yeah, 3DS launch right there. I don't know. I'm guessing I had a pre-order, or was that just waiting?
No, I think it was waiting to put in your pre-order. Is
Man,
what that was.
hang on. Let me go back to the Facebook post. December 6, 2010. Yeah. I don't think I have any other. No, correction. I know I have some other midnight releases. Hang on. Let me dig a little further.
Now this one's gonna blow some minds right here. For those people who are actually watching, this is gonna blow some minds.
Oh. Are you still? I'm looking. Oh, that one? That was the SNES Classic launch. Yes.
A much younger you and a skinnier me. Right there you go. And that was the SNES launch.
I think I was a little bit skinnier at that point, man. Come on.
No, but yeah, I actually found the pictures from that one too, which was hilarious because actually a buddy of mine, Paul, was in there. It's got him just kind of hanging out, standing in the backdrop, eating a cupcake. I got a picture of him just chilling, eating a cupcake in the backdrop.
That's it. Yeah. See, you tune into the stream, you get to see some oldies of some folks, guest appearances. I mean, you never know. I love my puzzled look in that one.
Yeah, well, that's because I just like, hey Ronnie, and then you turned around and I was like, snap, and you were like, what
I'm trying to Star Fox. Like Jen says, I am trying to do a barrel roll.
Yes, you were.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. But
I'm amazed at that point. Oh no, because I remember now on the SNES Classic, you had to play through, I think, the first level or something of the original Star Fox to unlock Star Fox 2.
yes.
So that's what I was doing at that point. I was unlocking Star Fox 2 because I'm like, I gotta play it. I still had the original Nintendo Power. We're at a walkthrough of the first level for Star Fox 2 before it, just disappeared into vaporware, into the netherworld. Because that's how committed Nintendo was to Star Fox 2 at that point. Was like it was coming. I mean, obviously, they released a mostly finished product on the SNES Classic. But yeah, I still had the Nintendo Power that had that. So yeah, I was like beelining for that. So yeah. I'm trying to think if I've got any other midnight launches in my photos.
These are all the things I got to miss out on. I was at the Lost Forest of Carnes.
It's a silly place. Let's see here.
I've actually found one, dude. This is This is sad. This is really sad. I just found a picture of Toys R Us.
Don't show it.
Yeah, their big amiibo wall that they had in Toys R Us, and it was when they were going out of business and selling everything off, and like all their amiibos were like 50% off.
Oh,
I just found that picture, so now I'm gonna go cry, because that saddens me greatly.
here's to Toys R Us.
Yeah. Send Toys R Us love.
I know. I think you're absolutely right, and I want to because we have the ability, we can put comments up. I'm gonna slap that one up there. There you go. There's your now you're live. I think that's the biggest thing. How could we all have known? And as a
I'm trying to figure out what Jen is doing in that picture.
and that's something I've heard a lot as a parent now, is you never know when that last time is that like your child is going to want you to do something, or you're going to want to hold them before going to sleep. Those little things.
Yeah.
You don't know. You have no idea when that last one is going to be. And yeah, it does suck, because you're like, man, I miss that. Sorry, I'm getting sentimental here, but yep. Obi Shaganobi. I do not have that FF7 pre-order shirt any longer, but I do remember
I
it.
think I still do.
I'm sure it is in rough shape. That's probably why I don't have mine anymore. Well, I mean, how many band camps did we wear those things to?
Oh Lord, you know there's yellow pit stains in it.
Woo.
Because I mean, we sweated our balls off during band camps.
Man alive, did we? I think that's why we no longer have any tolerance to heat, is we burn it all up in high school.
Probably.
So this one, I'm pretty sure this is actually from the Switch launch. This is me and you. Yes, there's our little cards that we.
That is it. That is the Switch launch.
So yeah, so that was pretty entertaining. But yeah, I mean, I miss that, and I kind of wish we could get back to that, but and it's like some of the things are actually, they actually are coming back full circle. They're doing midnight launches again, which is.
Well, I'm about to say that's how I'm going to get one of my my Best Buy pre-order, if it sticks. If it sticks.
Yeah, I mean, that in and of itself is pretty happening, but that doesn't mean that's.
So
I don't think it'll ever go back to being the same, but it would be real nice if.
But and kind of going back to the Switch 2 with the camera and the sharing, I feel like they're trying really hard to bring back that sense of community again, and like to actually see what the other person is doing and playing and just making it a little bit more connected.
Yeah.
But you see pictures of kids all gathered around, whether it's the Cube or the N64 and 4 controllers all plugged in, playing GoldenEye or Smash Brothers, the sitting in the living room together, and probably getting close to a fist fight over things, jacked up on Dr. Pepper and Fun Sticks and Fun Dip and, all that other stuff.
See all kinds of fun and excitement.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's something. I don't remember. I don't know where I was going, but
I don't know what I do.
I'm trying to see if I have any additional pictures buried I mean, I'm having to dig deep into the Facebook archive to find some of these pictures. I know I've got one somewhere for the Wii Smash Brothers launch, because it was around the time that The Dark Knight came out. And so I did a thing where I printed off the We Believe in Harvey Dent stuff, because Warner Brothers did this like thing where if you posted to social media, posted
that.
You remember it?
I remember that.
And so I had everybody in line for the Smash Brothers Wii launch, where we all held the sign, "We believe in Harvey Dent," and I submitted that, and I got this big package from Warner Brothers with stickers and buttons and like really nice official posters and like fake newspapers, all of that leading into The Dark Knight. I cannot find that picture. It's not jumping out at me. But yeah, that was another good. I know that's one I've got somewhere from a midnight launch. Your photos. Well, if I scroll your photos, I'll be scrolling for the next 10 years.
I just went to look for the Final Fantasy shirt, and I apparently don't have it anymore. I did see a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time one, though.
Oh, that's a good one.
Question is could you still fit in it? You don't have to answer that.
Oh, I did.
I mean, can any of us fit in any of them?
Hell no.
No.
Oh, I guess I could remove that comment. There we go.
Whose comment was that?
Oh, I just left the comment up for longer than it probably needed. Sorry.
We're getting all kinds of like land parties over here. Jen posting about land parties. Alas.
A good land. Battlefield. Age of Empires 2.
You know,
Rune.
speaking of land parties, so here's the "Do you want to feel old?" portion of tonight.
Already do.
More so than we already do. I recently just had an opportunity to speak to high schoolers about career opportunities in what we do, and I referenced and I showed, like, Google any image of 1990s land party, and you all know that is 100% accurate. I use that in my reference material to say, yeah, this is where, kind of how I got started. I call myself a garage raised IT guy. I said this was accurate if you Google this, and I talked about how it used to be, and
sweaty,
sweaty,
somebody ate too many crystals,
sack full of crystals at 3 a.m.
3 a.m. gut bombs.
One picture of the guy duct taped to the chair is exactly right. I seem to remember sitting at the top of a stairwell and it being yelled that it was tickle time, and Shag running, and I see Shag almost make it to me, and I see Shag fall and down to the bottom of the stairs to be maliciously tickled.
He was,
and I think the look on your face, 6 inch, was, oh, that had to hurt.
Oh, I know it hurt.
Land party.
Like,
there was no doubt in my mind that it hurt.
CDs thrown into people's chests.
Yep.
Yeah. And then one individual hanging out on the pool, out by the pool, with no shirt on, going, I'm buff, and then received sun poisoning because he got sunburnt so bad.
To this day, that is probably the worst case of sun poisoning I have ever seen on an individual. I'm pretty sure he was in a coma for at least 24 to 48 hours, and we probably should have called an ambulance, and we didn't.
Yeah, probably. But then again,
Well, he didn't know any better.
I was gonna say we didn't know.
I mean, heck, we used to throw Coffee Mate on open flame just to.
I was just thinking that. It's like, we could throw Coffee Mate in the fire. Oh, shit.
Man. Hey, you know, uh-oh. We lost Janigan. He'll be back.
Oh.
Now, did you?
No. Okay.
Yeah. So, any other? There we go. He's coming back. Let his phone
I hit the
sync
wrong
up.
button.
Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, I was trying to hit more.
You know,
And it's right
you're
next to
absolutely,
Lee's.
you're absolutely right, Shag. That Coffee Mate fireball was epic. I think it was like 2 stories tall.
It was only equal to the time they said, "Hey, Jeremy, you go cook." Or no, excuse me. "Hey, Jeremy, why don't you go cook?" And I said, "Okay." And I go outside and try to get the grill lit. Somebody was coming down the stairs, and their reaction was, before they even made it to the bottom of the steps, when the world lit up, and all they heard was woof. It was like, "Are you okay?" I was out there trying to get the thing lit and had it on. It was going.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
I think right here,
Yep.
the crystal's bag that was thrown in fire and kept its shape as it burned and rose in the air.
It did.
The
It was actually
stuff,
kind of freaky.
the stuff we put in our bodies.
It's like, because it was, these old paper bags, that they had, because it was perfectly square, and somebody threw it on the fire, and it like caught on fire and burnt and stayed the same shape, but it was like glowing ambers, and then it just lifted off the fire and then went floating off out through the woods. Of course, they're like, "I hope that doesn't catch anything on fire." We didn't. We just let it. We just let it go. It went on out in the woods and then just disappeared.
We didn't know any better.
Didn't know any better.
Didn't know any better. And Zordon fell on his ass again.
Yeah, you need to dim the lights. You need to dim the lights back down, Jones, so you can get your disembodied head look again.
Okay, just
That was. Yeah, it's about what it was like.
Hey,
Redneck
we
Japanese
will get
lantern release.
we will get your technology repaired so you're less earthquakey.
Yeah. What else? What else did we have on the agenda tonight? We've talked about the Switch 2 release, or the Super Switch, as we dubbed
Super
it.
Switch, that's what we're dubbing it.
It's the Super Switch.
Yep.
the soupy switch. What?
Not the Soupy Switch.
I do not dip your Switch in soup.
Yes, don't do that.
I don't recommend it.
It will not last long
No.
if you dip it in soup.
It's not it'll void your warranty.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo will honor it.
No. That is largely what I had on the agenda for tonight. For kind of getting back into the swing of things. As far as future episodes, the last episode we did before the long hiatus, we did the whole, you're playing with power. So, I think it's a great idea. We'll continue to maybe pull a random issue of Nintendo Power and talk about whatever was in that issue. Relive some stuff from there. Thank you, Jen and Checkpoint Gaming, for tuning in tonight, checking in. Definitely appreciated.
She's
Thank you.
Got to go tend to some chickens.
It happens.
So.
So I think we'll dive into more playing with power. I know we had talked about like doing a complete walkthrough of Cowboy Bebop. So
Yeah.
we watch an episode a week. We talk about that episode. We go through the whole, we've got a lot of ideas, and we'll probably specifically name certain episodes for those certain ideas. Or tonight, where it's just kind of a free for all, we're going to talk about whatever. So now I think this is probably a good wrap up point. This is the most viewers we have had, and this is a great relaunch for us. So thank you. Like,
Definitely.
share, comment. The comments have been great. I'm sure will definitely help the algorithm, which I don't even know. And honestly, I don't even care. We're producing content. We're having a good time shooting the bull. And I'm glad folks are just enjoying the laughter and nostalgia. That's what it's about. That's all I care about. And
Yes, sir.
I still go back to, if we get anything off of this, we'll throw ourselves a pizza party, in which we did. Oddly enough, our little stint as the Coal Creek Ghostbusters netted enough money to throw a pizza party, quite literally. Covered the pizza party. That's all I care about.
It covered the food and it covered good times and camaraderie. Done.
Yeah, we went and
Absolutely.
had pizza. And that was
So, and if we hit more subscribers than that and we generate it, great. If not, we're just old friends shooting the bull. So
3 old men, as Jack said.
yeah,
three old
men chatting. Apparently, it's just
that
so
is
entertaining.
hey,
Old
better
grunts.
than 3 old men that are not entertaining. Yeah. Before we sign off, anybody have anything else?
No, I'm good.
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, we'll roll credits. And again, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. And we'll roll that beautiful bean footage.
Boom, 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 boom.